Have you ever felt, even without fully understanding why, that something was quietly working against you, almost invisibly? Maybe that sudden failing of doubt, an inexplicable fear, or that seemingly small choice that deep down you knew you shouldn't have made? What you're about to discover may surprise you. Evil, according to C.S. Lewis, isn't always that scary, obvious monster everyone imagines. It is much more cunning, more subtle, more strategic, a true master of invisible manipulation. Stay with me until the end, because what I'm going to share is not just any reflection. It is an invitation to look beyond appearances, to understand how the enemy operates not through great visible catastrophes, but through small tricks that sneak in through the back door of our minds and hearts. Often, evil disguises itself as normality, logic, even disguised kindness. This is the enemy's real tactic, and C.S. Lewis, with his unique clarity, helps us expose it. Have you ever gone through moments when you felt that nagging doubt about your faith, or a restlessness that seemed to come out of nowhere, diverting your gaze from what is true and good? Perhaps you've sensed the voice of temptation not as a loud, aggressive shout, but as an almost imperceptible whisper, a baseless doubt growing in the silence. This is no coincidence. It is evil acting subtly, using our everyday life as its battlefield. Lewis teaches us this is not an open game, but a board where each piece can be moved cleverly, where the enemy does not need big battles, but small slips. It's striking to think that evil, so present in many dramatic stories, often reveals itself in what we don't even notice, in small decisions we make without thinking, the thoughts we let in and grow, the doubts we accept without confronting. Lewis shows us that the enemy is a strategist because he knows subtlety is his most powerful, but he doesn't need to attack violently if he can win through confusion, internal division, and uncertainty that gradually undermines faith. And the most surprising thing, this fight is not against something distant or abstract. Evil's inside our very own mind, using our desires, fears, and vulnerabilities as fertile ground for his strategies. Understanding this is the first step to not being caught off guard, to recognizing the enemy's tactics before they cause deep damage to our spiritual life. C.S. Lewis, with his wisdom and experience, offers us a map to navigate this invisible battle. Stay with me, because this journey we're starting will reveal not only the strategies of evil, but also the weapons we have to resist it. You will discover how vigilance, prayer, and understanding the Bible can be powerful shields against the enemy's tricks.
It is not just a matter of blind faith, but of an active, conscious, and informed faith that knows when and how to fight. What you will discover here is not something easily found. Often we prefer to ignore this uncomfortable reality, because seeing the enemy as he really is can be frightening. But the truth is that knowledge sets us free. Knowing how evil works gives us the power to choose the right path, to make decisions that strengthen our faith and protect us from the subtle traps that threaten our spiritual journey. C.S. Lewis was not just a writer or thinker. He was someone who lived this battle, who understood in practice how cunning the enemy can be. His vision does not simplify evil as a movie character. He reveals it as a strategist who knows human weaknesses well and knows exactly how to use them. That changes everything. We begin to see that the real fight is not against obvious external forces, but against an invisible enemy working within our everyday life, inside our mind. So that's why from here on, we want to open our eyes to these tactics that often go unnoticed, because only then can we respond with wisdom, faith, and courage. Evil may be clever, but it is not invincible. And victory begins precisely when we understand the game being played. Now, I want you to imagine this silent battle happening inside you and around you, behind the scenes of your daily life. It's a scenario that seems invisible but has a huge impact on your decisions, your peace, your faith. This understanding can transform your mindset, your perspective on the difficulties and spiritual challenges we face. Stay with me, because from here we will begin to uncover together the enemy's main tactics, revealed with the clarity and depth of C.S. Lewis, so that you can be prepared, aware, and strengthened. This is not an ordinary conversation, but a journey of revelations that can change the way you see your spiritual walk. So, let's go together, ready to see beyond the obvious, to discover the enemy's strategies and learn how to fight them with the truth, faith, and wisdom that come from God's Word and the teachings of this great master, C.S. Lewis. And now, without further ado, let us begin this immersion that promises to open your eyes to the battle happening silently and show you how you can grow stronger in it. As we keep uncovering these layers of the enemy's cunning, I want to invite you to reflect for a moment.
Have you ever noticed any of these small traps subtly inserted into your daily life? Maybe a doubt that appeared out of nowhere, an insecurity that paralyzed you, or even that decision which, looking back, seemed like a misstep, but at the time felt natural. These are the clues, the small pieces of this silent game. If this topic makes sense to you, leave in the comments what touched you the most so far. Sharing your experiences helps not only strengthen our community, but also inspires others going through similar situations. It's in this exchange that we find strength, understanding, and above all, a sense that we are not alone in this journey. And you know, when you like the video, that's also a way of saying this content adds value to you, that you want to keep following important topics like this. Every like, comment, and new subscription on this channel is like a seed that helps this message reach further, touching people who might be needing exactly this understanding to strengthen their faith and protect themselves from the enemy's strategies. It's not just a number or a statistic. It's real impact. It's transformation happening. It's light entering places that seemed too dark. So when you subscribed, you're saying yes to this walk with me, so we can grow, learn, and strengthen our faith side by side. I take every comment, every message seriously, because I know behind them there's a story, a struggle, a search for truth. Your participation here is what makes this channel grow and reach more people with this kind of content that many times we can't easily find elsewhere. Let's keep going together with open hearts and alert minds, because what's coming next will deepen even more this understanding of the enemy's tactics and how we can position ourselves to win this daily battle. The journey is long, but doesn't have to be lonely. And this community we're building is a refuge of hope, learning, and steadfast faith. Comment below, I'm in this too. I want to know you're here with me, ready to continue this journey of discovery and spiritual strengthening. Evil rarely shows itself with the brute force we might expect. In fact, it is far more effective when it acts silently, infiltrating small decisions, the almost imperceptible gestures of daily life. This sneaky, almost invisible form is the enemy's real tactic. As C.S. Lewis warns us, evil does not always come as a devastating storm, but often has a light breeze that over time wears down, confuses, and diverts. Have you ever stopped to think how sometimes a simple negative thought, a subtle doubt, or even an apparently innocent criticism can trigger a domino effect in your spiritual life? It is in this subtlety that the adversary's greatest cunning lies. He doesn't want your fall in a single blow. He prefers small cracks that together weaken your faith and discernment.
These strategies of deception and manipulation are like a carefully crafted art. Lewis, with his sharp mind, showed that the enemy acts to divide, confuse, and weaken, turning our certainties into uncertainties and our focus into distraction. Imagine the confusion caused by that doubt that comes at the most inconvenient time, that restlessness in your heart that makes you question what once seemed clear, or even resentment born for no apparent reason. All of this is part of this psychological game, a manipulation aimed at undermining trust in God and ourselves. The enemy knows that when we divide our attention and strength, we lose clarity to discern what is true, opening space for wrong decisions that gradually draw the soul away from the light. What perhaps the cruelest blow from this adversary is temptation disguised as good. How many times have we found ourselves admiring something that seems good, but deep down distances us from the true path? Lewis warns us of this trap. Evil dresses itself in the mask of good, offering pleasures, achievements, and even noble feelings that, however, take us away from the essence of God's love. It's not a frontal attack. It is a slow and constant seduction, an invitation to forget the greater purpose, to be led by appearances and momentary satisfactions. It is as if darkness disguises itself as light, making it difficult to see where what truly builds ends and what destroys begins. To identify these traps, Lewis reminds us that the devil is the great deceiver. He uses subtle tricks, planting doubts, fears, and misplaced desires. Recognizing these signs requires constant attention, a watchful eye for detail that at first glance may seem insignificant. Vigilance is not paranoia, but a stance of awareness and discernment, a quest to understand when what appears attractive or comfortable is actually challenging God's truth. This recognition is the first line of defense against evil's influence. In this scenario, the role of conscience and free will is fundamental. Lewis and the Bible show that the choices we make are the field where the spiritual war takes place. Conscience, that inner voice that guides us, is the favorite target of the enemy's tactics. When confused or silenced, it paves the way for decisions that can lead us away from the light. Therefore, the use of free will requires wisdom and strength. It is necessary to courageously choose what builds and reject the subtle snares of evil that's tried to trap us. The response to this silent battle is not only resistance, but constant vigilance and prayer. Faith, strengthened by dialogue with God, is a powerful armor against the enemy's strategies. Prayer is not just asking for protection, but a deep connection exercise that renews mind, heart, and soul. It is in the silence of prayer that we can hear the voice of truth and find strength to resist what tries to lead us astray.
Daily vigilance, combined with this contact with God, becomes a light that dispels the shadows of doubt and fear. Even facing this invisible war, there is a message of hope that echoes in Lewis's writings and the Bible. The revealed truth assures us that no matter how much evil tries to infiltrate, victory is guaranteed for those who remain steadfast in faith. This path of light is possible, and the transformation it generates impacts not only our spiritual life, but our whole being. Understanding these tactics and staying alert is a decisive step in the journey of growth and strengthening that leads us to a mindset of victory and confidence. To help perceive these strategies in practice, we can look at everyday examples. That feeling of restlessness before an important decision, the impulse to give up when the path seems hard, or even the tendency to judge and divide relationships, all can be seen as signs of the enemy acting discreetly. Recognizing these moments is the first step to regain control and choose the path of conscious faith, grounded in truth and prayer. This battle is ongoing, and the struggle does not cease, but it's also a fight of hope. The spiritual strength given to us, combined with understanding the enemy's tactics, allows us to walk confidently, knowing that despite challenges, the final victory belongs to God and all who remain firm in Him. This certainty moves us forward, even when shadows seem to close in. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject, exploring the nuances of this invisible battle and how we can, with wisdom and faith, find the keys to win day by day. Let's dive into the backstage of the spiritual war, understanding how every small decision and moment of vigilance directly impact our walk, transforming our mindset, and strengthening our faith so we can see beyond what the eye reach and feel the real impact of the hidden truth between the lines of this fight. Comment below, this makes sense to me. I want to know you're reflecting along this journey and ready to keep uncovering these essential truths. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you for being with me in this important conversation. It is in this space that we can build something true, learning together about the strategies the enemy uses and how we can strengthen ourselves, remain firm in faith. If this content made sense to you, leave a phrase in the comments that touch you. Something like, "I'm with you till the end," or "This message was for me." It'll be amazing. to know we're on this journey side by side. And if you felt this video brought value, a new perspective, or even a warning, that like is a simple way to show this connection we created here. No pressure, just recognition that we're growing together. I also invite you to subscribe to the channel because here we always make reflections that go beyond the surface, helping you understand the behind the scenes of faith and strengthen your walk.
Oh, and there's a video right here that complements this topic in a way that can further transform your view. Click and keep going with me there. It will be great to keep exploring this path together with more revelations that will make all the difference. Thank you for staying until the end.